Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead, and we have a bit of a Walking Dead universe update video. We're going to be talking about a number of topics, some information from Robert Kirkman about the final season and the Rick Grimes movie, as well as some news that we got about a brand new spin-off for Fear the Walking Dead. So we're going to be breaking all of this down in this video today. We have a variety of topics for this one, so that's the best way to put it, like the Walking Dead universe update. But yeah, I'm very excited to talk about these things. Obviously, general spoiler warning in case you're not caught up with the Walking Dead shows. And then also, if you're a fan of the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up. Right now is the extra 6 episodes. Tomorrow night will be my episode 21 review. And then we have the season finale the following week. And then after that, we have Fear the Walking Dead season 6B. So yeah, be sure to subscribe if you're a fan of the shows. But yeah, other than that, let's get into the video. So the first batch of information we have is from Robert Kirkman. He's been doing some press lately. He has a brand new show on Amazon Prime called Invincible. So obviously, when he's doing press for that, people will ask about The Walking Dead no matter what. So this comes from comicbook.com. Brandon Davis wrote the article. I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to check out the full article. I'm just going to go ahead and read a few excerpts from it and talk about it. So we'll start off with season 11, what he said about that. So this is what he said. He said, I haven't really thought about the ending of The Walking Dead, to be honest, because it's still a ways away, Kirkman says, as seen in the video above. The final season began production earlier this year, but is expected to shoot right up until the end of 2021 and will air into late 2022. At the same time, we're already talking about the Carol and Daryl show, and there's different ways that The Walking Dead will live on, the writer and creator says. So I guess concluding at season 11 in some ways isn't really a conclusion. So I haven't really thought about it, but now you're making me real sad. Alright, so he brings up a good point there with the Carol and Daryl spin-off because yeah, the show is coming to an end, but in some ways it isn't because we're getting that Carol and Daryl spin-off. Which got announced extremely ahead of time. That got announced in 2020 and it's not coming out until 2023. So it's still, quite a ways away. And like Robert Kirkman said here, the finale is, quite a ways away. It's going to air into late 2022. Now, I don't know how that's going to work because I thought at first they would air it at the end of 2021. It would make sense for it to go into late 2022. But if they're going to start airing the show in the summer of 2021, how would it possibly go into late 2022? Unless they do a pretty big break, which they may do that for Fear the Walking Dead. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, they could definitely do that. The first 16 episodes and the final 8 episodes later on in 2022. That could definitely happen. But I just think because they're starting a lot earlier than expected, because I originally thought they were going to start airing it in October when they usually air The Walking Dead. But no, we're actually getting season 11 in the summer, which is awesome. So because of that, I assumed they would end earlier too. But we'll see how that works because it's going to be an extra 8 episodes this season. This upcoming season, I should say. But yeah, like I said with the Carol and Daryl spinoff, the show is continuing. But in some ways, I'm glad and I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about this. I'm happy that they're ending the main show and then branching off and doing spin-offs because this main show is a show that is, I think, trying to stay true to Robert Kirkman's comic, which is what started the show. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be matching up with the ending of the comic. So and I really do like that they wanted to end the show, with it, being a true adaptation of that comic, and then obviously AMC will go on and do their other things. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Do you like that the show is ending, or would you prefer the show to continue? Because in some ways I feel like the show is already continuing with Carol and Daryl. I don't know what's gonna happen to the other characters, which is really interesting. But we'll see. But in some ways, I am glad that they're having this ending, this bookend for the main show. And this is coming from a huge Walking Dead fan, and I'm gonna be watching the spin-offs and stuff like that. But I think as a fan of the show, you do want some nice ending rather than it just going on and on. So you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. But moving on to the Rick Grimes movie. So this is what he had to say about that when he was asked. He said, I think that the show is very much an ensemble story and this is very much Rick's story. So I think being able to focus more on Rick as a character and do more with him is really cool. I think it's going to be very different kind of Walking Dead story, which is really exciting. When you're doing something like this, you have to make sure that it makes sense for it to be a movie. This isn't just some kind of expansion of what you're expecting from the show. This is something that's going to be very different, but it's going to be the Rick Grimes that we all know and love. And I'm very excited for people to finally see it when it's released in 2032. So I love the little joke there at the end, being released in 2032. I love that because I think as Walking Dead fans, we're all sort of waiting to see when this movie is going to be released. I think it's going to be released in 2022, especially since they said that the plan is to start filming in spring or summer of this year. So I'm assuming it's going to probably air at 2022. We'll see when, is it going to be after season 11, in the middle of season 11? We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the little joke there because again, we're all just waiting for it. No, but he does bring up an interesting thing about it's not an expansion of what you're expecting from the show, because we keep hearing this, and I think it's really important to notice this because, yeah, they bring out, 16 episodes of The Walking Dead every single year, but a movie is totally different. A lot of movies that get made, if it, they're in development for years, and then they're filming, and then there's post-production. So, the time it takes for a real movie to come out takes a very long time, and this is what they're going with the Rick Grimes movie. So they're not really trying to do like an extended Walking Dead episode. They're really trying to make a huge movie here, and I think, and they even have Universal backing them up on distribution, so that kind of shows the scale of this movie. And they announced it when? They announced it in 2018, at the end of 2018. So it's been about 2.5 years since they announced it. I know that seems like a long time, but if you actually think about it in terms of movies, like a real movie getting made, it's really not that long. Like there are movies that get announced, 3, 4, 5 years before. I mean, usually they don't want to announce it, but there are movies that are getting worked on 3, 4, 5 years before they get released. Sometimes the movie will get filmed and then there's post-production for like an entire year. It's a totally different thing with a movie. And I think they want to be clear on that because that's part of the reason why it's taking a while. And then obviously, the pandemic delayed it also. But yeah, it's really cool to see what he said there, that it's very much like, Rick's story, and it's an ensemble story, but Rick is at the core of it, and I like how he said that it'll be the Rick Grimes that we all know and love. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, like there are so many questions to be answered, like especially with the show ending. Which characters are going to reunite with Rick? Will Rick come back? Will they go to Rick? Will they, will it be in some spin-off in the future? Will the characters reunite with Rick in one of his movies? Which is probably like one of my theories. I've talked about this a couple times that I think, the characters potentially may show up in one of his movies because they are working on a trilogy, and it's very well possible that, one of the characters or multiple characters show up in his second or third movie. So we'll see what happens with that. You guys let me know in the comments down below your theories about that, but I also think, this may have some connection with that spin-off because in the extra 6 episodes, Daryl, once again, we learned of Daryl's adventures searching for Rick and how much he was searching for Rick. I don't think they would bring that up if they don't have plans for a reunion in the future. So again, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments down below, but that's my little theory on that. And then the next thing I want to talk about was a spin-off that we got, that they announced about Fear the Walking Dead, and this really came out of nowhere. I was not expecting it. I guess it kind of makes sense based on what we saw in season 6, but let me go ahead and read this. Again, this comes from comicbook.com. It says, AMC is developing a digital original scripted series set in the Walking Dead universe that ties into the 6th season of Fear the Walking Dead. The network announced on Friday. New digital series Dead in the Water tells the story of a submarine crew fighting for survival, cut off from the surface world just as apocalypse hits, becoming a nuclear-fueled, walker-filled death trap with no way out. So yeah, when they say digital original scripted series, I'm assuming it's gonna be like a mini series, maybe something maybe we see online, maybe something we just see on AMC Plus. That's definitely a possibility. I don't know if this would be something they will release on Sunday nights on The Walking or on AMC, but it definitely could be something they release on AMC Plus or on YouTube or something. I would guess AMC Plus because that is a brand new streaming service that they could do a lot of stuff there with. But yeah, again, I wasn't really expecting this, but it makes sense because if you've been watching Fear the Walking Dead season 6, that first episode, we saw that submarine, and on the submarine it said the end is the beginning, and at first I was thinking that group had something to do with the submarine, and they still may have something to do with it, but then you also have to remember that group has been spray painting that motto like all over, the end is the beginning. So we'll see if that has something to do with that group, which again, it may, very well have to do with that group, but very interesting, because yeah, when we saw that submarine, I was like, where did this come from, So, again, I don't think it's gonna be, like something we see on Sunday nights. I don't think it's gonna be as big as The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, but just like a little scripted series. And maybe it ties into Fear the Walking Dead season 7 or something, especially if it does have something to do with that new group. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this spin-off? I'm definitely interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions. But yeah, that was the information we got. Just a little update video for the universe, talking about a variety of things. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below about season 11, the Rick Grimes movie, and then that new Fear the Walking Dead spin-off. If you enjoyed and you want more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up. And as always, thanks for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.